The Dark Mountains is a huge range of dark stone mountains that separate the eastern and western human kingdoms. The region is barren, often stormy, and covered in a thick mist that can obscure most travel, and sometimes rolls into the borders of the human kingdoms. Across the edge of the mountains, groups of human tribes known as the Grey Ragers build their primitive huts of flesh. They have gray skin, wear little clothing, and cover themselves in tattoos of gibberish and mysterious creatures of insanity. Having gone mad from the reverse charm spell of the elves, they fall into fits of rage and tend to froth at the mere mention of battle. They will raid the human kingdoms in small groups, pillage caravans, and take prisoners. Being cannibals, they eat their victims and skin off their flesh to wear as clothing, carving their victims' bones into weapons. Other than pure bloodlust, few Grey Ragers speak of their reason for their brutal actions, other than the whispers of the chasm that tell them to. Higher up in the mountains, groups of grayskin orcs and grayskin ogre tribes live together in communities of primitive huts made out of wood and stone. The clans will often war with each other for control of the limited resources in the higher elevations, and attack the merchant travel routes that come over the mountain passes. They worship the god Vakar, a demonic dragon made of ooze and ichor, his breath weapon, the hellfires of abyssal brimstone. Vakar is said to have arrived in Earlthed during the Great Tiamat War, and melted the rock of the mountains, turning them black, and from the molten ash he shaped the orcs and ogres of the region, giving them their distinctive gray skin. From the fires of the molten rocks that burned for 1,000 years, red dragons were born in the flames of Vakar's breath. Children of the great demon, the red dragons grew to rule over the mountains as kings, but often distrust each other, warring with others of their kind for domination of the various dark mountain tribes. To aid in the conquest, several hill giant tribes pledge allegiance, the Knights of the Ascidian Pits. They serve the red dragons as guards, hammering armor out of defeated dragon scales forged under the breath of their masters. They enforce rule over the orcs and human tribes, and sometimes lead in their name. They build fortresses out of quarried stone burned black by the red dragons, and painted with the blood of sacrificed. It represents the carnage of the dragon kings, and stands as a warning to those who travel the mountains to stay away. Like generals, the giants help the red dragon kings marshal tribes into armies, and sometimes, every generation or more, they band together and invade the human kingdoms in what is known as the Dark Horde. They pour over the landscape, destroying everything they can before withdrawing back to the mountains with wagonfuls of collected bounty. While the human kingdoms have been able to defend against every invasion so far, each attack leaves them weaker than before, and one day an attack may come so fierce the human kingdoms are unable to hold back the tide and crumble into chaos. For more information of Vakar, please refer to the Codex of Demonic Names in the restricted section of the Exemplar Library.